Right now at 6, neighbors in disbelief after the mother and sister of a man who allegedly died in their care are charged with murder.
We just, thought she was a caring mother, or still kind of believe that.
And the latest on a cyber attack that's shuttered DEQ testing stations across Oregon, catching drivers by surprise.
Well, it kind of ruins my plans because my trip permit expires today.
Plus, how Oregon leaders are pushing back on President Trump's threat to pull funding from schools over DEI.
Then later in sports, the Portland Winterhawks fresh off a thrilling Game 7 victory and looking to keep it going.
I think we're going to have our hands full, but I think our team is ready for the challenge.
First at 6, neighbors in Scappoose are in shock after they say a mother and her adult daughter were arrested and charged with a family member's murder. Thanks for joining us. I'm David Molko.
And I'm Christine Pitawanich. John Adams is live outside the courthouse in St. Helens, where the suspects made their first appearance. John.
Yeah, Christine and David, both of the accused appeared virtually in court today and both entered pleas of not guilty on all charges. Residents in a Scappoose neighborhood are still trying to grapple with what exactly happened at this two-story home on Southwest Linden Street. On Wednesday, 63-year-old Catherine Reyna and 31-year-old Hillary Murphy were arrested in connection to Benjamin Murphy's death. Neighbors tell us they were the mother and sister of Murphy, who suffered from numerous disabilities.
Like I said, he was autistic. He had mobility problems, and I've seen him in and out of a wheelchair, but his mother usually helped him.
Officials say Benjamin Murphy died on March 6th, but his death wasn't reported for 3 days. He had been under the care and supervision of Reyna and Hillary Murphy. Neighbors we spoke with tell us they saw investigators searching around the family's home after his death.
A month ago, I saw them, kind of taking stuff out of the house, and it made me wonder what was going on.
Prosecutors allege that Reyna and Hillary Murphy were responsible for his death through intentional maltreatment and neglect. They face multiple charges, including murder in the first degree. These charges all come as a shock to neighbors who thought of the family as good people.
Had no idea that it was considered foul play. I'm still, I believe the jury's still out on that. I still have a hard time believing this whole thing.
Earlier this afternoon, a judge here in Columbia County denied bail on both of their cases. Their next court appearance is scheduled for April 23rd. David and Christine, back to you.
John Adams reporting live for us this evening outside the courthouse in St. Helens. Thank you, John.
In your headlines tonight, Portland police have arrested a second person in connection with a deadly stabbing at a hotel near PDX. Investigators say 55-year-old Anthony Staggs turned himself in yesterday. On March 21st, police found 26-year-old Drew Courtwright dead inside the Sojourn Suites on Northeast Airport Way. Courtwright's mother telling us he was staying at the hotel with his girlfriend when they heard a knock at the door. The other suspect, 42-year-old Mitch Brian Schoonover, was arrested a few days later.
A man wanted in connection to a Portland homicide last month has been arrested in Texas. 33-year-old Kevin Reinhardt was shot and killed at a Hazelwood neighborhood apartment complex on East Burnside in early March. On Monday, U.S. Marshals tracked down and arrested 35-year-old Portlander Che Bell in the city of Killeen, located in central Texas. Bell will be extradited back to Oregon to face charges, including second-degree murder.
All 4 passengers and the pilot who were on board a plane that skidded off a runway and into Coos Bay are now out of the hospital. The private jet was returning to Oregon from Utah Monday morning when the pilot reported a brake problem before landing. The plane went off the end of the runway and ended up in shallow water. Everyone got out safely. The NTSB is investigating.
Metro is proposing significant cuts to its arts and visitors venues, trying to trim more than $18 million from its budget. The city-owned Portland 5 Centers for the Arts, that includes the Arlene Schnitzer Concert Hall and Keller Auditorium, are facing a nearly 20% reduction in funding and the elimination of 12 full-time jobs. Metro leaders say bookings for big shows have recovered to pre-pandemic levels, but attendance has dropped for nonprofits like the Oregon Symphony and Oregon Children's Theater. Metro is also looking to cut about 21 jobs at the Oregon Convention Center and Portland Expo Center. Matt?
Thanks, Christine. If you live east of the West Hills, you're going, oh, what a gray afternoon. It's been very rainy. If you live west of the West Hills, you're seeing sunshine. This is the Reserve Golf Course in Washington County right now. Looks great. Still some showers out that way, but they will be winding down. The back edge of the rain about to cross I-5 right now. So we're going in a drier direction than what we've had this afternoon, and this system behaved pretty much as we thought it would. Rain starting about 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and will be ending by about 7 o'clock here in town. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, but mainly dry in the morning, and then partly sunny. We get up to about 59. That's 10 degrees cooler than today, with cooler air coming in following this rain, but still a pretty good looking Friday on the way after the showers end tonight. And in fact, we have a long dry spell coming. Other than some scattered showers on Saturday, which won't amount to much, it's going to be dry through the weekend and probably through next week. We've got a couple of chilly mornings on the way. Freeze watch up for parts of Oregon. We'll show you where in a bit, guys. Back to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Matt. Now at 6, every emissions testing station in Oregon will stay closed through the weekend after a cyber attack hit the Department of Environmental Quality.
Let's bring in Devin Haskins in the newsroom. Devin, a bit of a silver lining here. It sounds like the hackers did not access any personal information.
Yeah, David, that's right. The state says it learned about the attack yesterday and immediately shut down the systems that were impacted. It caused widespread problems, catching many drivers off guard that wanted to get their cars' emissions tested.
At the Northeast Portland DEQ Emissions Testing Center,
shocking, that's all I can say.
we saw driver after driver
Wow. Well, what happened?
enter the facility only to learn it was closed.
It just slows me down. I've been trying to get my registration renewed, get my real ID, get a bunch of stuff updated. It's just obnoxious, I guess.
On Wednesday, the state said that it had suffered a cyber attack. Just over 24 hours later,
we were able to confirm that as far as we know right now, there's been no data breach and no access to information.
the attack impacting several servers and networks.
Enterprise Information Services and the Microsoft cybersecurity team have been analyzing all of our systems in detail to kind of evaluate where this cyber attack is happening and how to address it.
Leaving drivers in Portland trying to get their emissions testing done before the end of the month in a bind.
Well, it kind of ruins my my plans because my trip permit expires today, and I need to go to the DMV and get pass the DQ test to get a license plate. Now that kind of gets in the way.
And with questions about what to do in the meantime.
Where is it open? Where can we get it on Jiffy Lube or something? Yeah, so that's where I'm at, is I don't know where to go to get it done.
I would say don't panic. Staff are working around the clock to address this issue, and so we're hoping to have this resolved as soon as possible.
DEQ is trying to figure out how the criminals hacked into the system. Now, if you do need to contact the DEQ, they say don't email them. They say their systems are down, but instead to call them. For now, the emissions testing stations will be closed Friday and Saturday. It'll be a day-to-day call on when they reopen again. David?
Sounds like everybody's just got to hold tight. Thanks, Devin. Oregon's Attorney General announced a new plan today to help combat organized crime across the state.
That's right. Multnomah County District Attorney Nathan Vasquez and police leaders joined Attorney General Dan Rayfield in breaking down the issue and its ties to labor, sex, and drug trafficking. The plan includes creating 4 regional teams, complete with investigators, prosecutors, and research analysts. Those teams will have the resources to dig deeper into investigating organized crime. Police chiefs from Albany and Boardman spoke about what they're experiencing now and supported the proposal.
Because the criminals don't have borders. They don't go, hey, I'm just going to do crime in Albany or Corvallis or Boardman, whatever. My problem is Corvallis's problem, etc.
These are sometimes complex cases, very time-consuming, and for a small agency, we don't have the resources to address a lot of these issues.
The Department of Justice is requesting around $6 million to establish the teams over the next couple of years. Rayfield says Oregon lawmakers will see the proposal next week. We'll have more details coming up at 6:30 on The Story. Meantime, Governor Tina Kotek wants the Oregon Department of Education to, quote, hold the line against President Trump's executive order targeting diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts in public schools.
They're pushing back. Oregon relies on federal dollars for about 14% of its K-12 budget. So last week, federal officials sent a letter to school leaders nationwide giving them 10 days to comply or potentially lose funding. It's now been pushed back until April 24th as a bunch of legal challenges play out.
And today, in response, the director of the Oregon Department of Education released a letter certifying Oregon is in full compliance with existing federal anti-discrimination laws and argued the Trump administration can't unilaterally strip funding Congress already allocated.